Hey you guys, and welcome back to Locked in Haven. Today I'm going to be giving you guys some insights and tips on what to expect with your starter lock journey. Like I always say, disclosure, I must say each person is unique. One thing I've learned about doing locks is that everybody's hair will react differently. It will be different. So do not confine yourself to a box, but take these tips as you may, as this might be some of you all's experience. So the first appointment, what I usually notice with majority of my clients is that nape area, and especially the hairline, more where the finer and where the hair density is a bit more fine. I notice that there will be some locks unraveled, some hair separation. This is completely normal. Even like my client, when she came, she said, yeah, are they supposed to, some of them I'm like, no, like this is exactly what I expect to see for my client on the first appointment. No lock should, it's possible that some of them have stayed. I'm not saying your entire hair should be unraveled, but there is a possibility that some will unravel. But that's the point of you coming back for your 4 to 6 week appointment, so that we can make sure things stay in order and move things as they need to. So that's one of the main things I like to make sure I inform my clients about. This client in particular, I did let her know that the parting and things may adjust with this retwist, because I do notice structure and foundation, some things that I can move around. And this is just all a part of you guys. Like, I know we go for the straight, crispy part. Each box is the same size. I'm telling you, if you're really going off your client's density, or if even just educating you as a customer to someone else's business, and you go get some locks from someone, I really drag that on, oh my gosh. But yeah, let's just say you go get some locks from someone. You really want to make sure that they're advocating and you're advocating for your hair, because if they're not doing your locks pertaining to your density, that's how locks end up breaking off in the future, or you deal with thinning and things like that. So you want to make sure that you're getting locks according to, I know we have these inspo photos, but just making sure you're getting your lock sizes that are realistic for you and your hair and what your hair can handle. So you can't expect parting to be moved around. You can't expect a little bit of budding, especially in this phase. Like the second retwist, I do see some budding happening and some budding going on. My favorite retwist would be the third one, because you really get to start to see how everything's forming. The second retwist is also interesting as well, because I'm able to give my clients that reassurance, and they're able to really get an insight on how their locks are doing, and that their locks are actually growing and they're not just shrunken up how they seem to be and look. I do not let my clients, or I do not recommend my clients to wash their hair that first 4 to 6 weeks. However, please, if you sweat a lot, if you feel like your scalp is irritated, or you really feel like you need to wash your hair, it is not, X'd out completely that you can't wash your hair. You can wash your hair in that 4 to 6 week range, as long as you are using a stocking cap or like a netted cap. When you wash your hair, when you have your starter locks, you don't want to just go in digging and scrubbing like you would normally do with a standard wash. You would just go in lightly with some shampoo, wet your scalp, and just go in and kind of rub with the tips of your fingers and not your nails. Just making sure that you're really getting the shampoo and cleaning out whatever it is that you need to. In fact, water actually helps locks lock a little bit more faster depending on the hair texture. Once again, each person and each lock is different. So water can tend to lock some people's locks quicker. So I would not say, completely, if you just don't at all wash your hair those first 4 to 6 weeks, because it is possible. It is something that you can do. Just do not use conditioner the first 4 to 6 weeks. I say this because it's a real big controversy right now in the lock industry about conditioning locks, and you can condition your locks when they are at a certain state of maturity. But that first 4 to 6 weeks, you cannot color, not color, I'm going to get to that next, but condition your locks, because conditioner acts as a detangler, which will make your locks unravel, and you just don't want to have to deal with that. It's normal to deal with some unraveling in the beginner phase, but you shouldn't come back to your loctician with literally no parts, no coils, nothing left. And that's exactly what conditioner will do in that first 4 to 6 weeks if you choose to do that. So just hold off on the conditioner. And also with color, unless you're doing a light rinse, any heavy bleaching, any heavy permanent color, it's not suggested during this phase. If you decide to color your hair prior to your starter locks, that would be more suggestible, or is that even a word? I don't know. That would be more preferred than trying to color your hair within this beginner phase, because the hair is still fragile, it's still trying to lock, and it does change your curl pattern depending on what you decide to use and how harsh the color and chemicals are. So you do not want to try to play in a lot of color in the beginner phase unless it's like a rinse or a semi-permanent, something that you can just lay over your hair, nothing that's going to lift the hair or chemically alter the form of the hair. So aside from that, those are some of the core rules that I like to stand by when I tell my clients in the starter phase. I have to keep telling them, like, just hang on, because I know in the beginner phase, if you want to take them out, by all means do that. Like, I'm not going to tell you not to take your locks out. If you feel like you can't do it, hey, it's fine. It's okay. I will not score on you because you can't do it right now. Maybe try again later. Maybe it may work for you later. But I'm not ever upset with clients who feel like they can't not handle it, but just do it. And a lot of times what people don't realize with locks is that it's really about redefining beauty. Redefining that beauty standard that you have for yourself. If you're a person that typically wears weave, or not even just weave or extensions, if you're a person who's just used to having your hair slicked back or slicked up and wearing your natural hair and having it curled up and flare, and just different things to make you feel, and this is particularly to women, but I've also had men as well who are more accustomed to braids that go through this phase as well, that we call the transitional phase. And it's hard for them to really adjust because they're used to that and a certain way of looking, and you really have to redefine what beauty means to you. That's why people say this lock journey is definitely a transformational phase. It's nothing about it in the beginner phase especially that's ugly. It's literally about transforming how you think, how you view yourself, and honestly encourage you to love yourself a bit more. Not that you don't love yourself, because I don't want to get that misconstrued, but I think you guys catch my drift of what that means, because a lot of times we do tend to shy away from these type of styles because of this reason. So with a little bit of encouragement at the end of this video, that's really all I have for you guys today. Just make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and comment below if you have any other things that you want me to go over and share. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye.